no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raiders Report here. Mitchell Renz breaking down the latest around Kyle Long potentially signing with the Raiders. So he visited the Raiders on Monday. No doubt that this team is lacking depth on the offensive line, considering the fact that they're more than likely going to be letting go of somebody like Gabe Jackson. Richie Incognito also is a free agent. So you're looking at the Raiders here trying to figure out, how can I be able to bring in some players here and really rebuild that offensive line? Trent Brown traded to the New England Patriots. If you want to talk about a team that's missing a lot of starters and in terms of missing quality snaps, the Raiders are top 5 in the NFL in terms of missing snaps from the season ago. So 33% of their snaps they have to make up. And a lot of those snaps actually are coming on the offensive line. Denzel Good, another great example, going to be a free agent. Kyle Long, though, is interesting, right? 6'6", 313 pounds. He's going to end up playing probably right guard wherever he ends up going. The biggest reason, though, that he retired in 2020 was because he wasn't fully healthy. So I am curious to see what ultimately happens with Kyle Long and the Raiders. Something that did happen today that got Raiders fans a little bit worried, at least from what I saw. Donald Penn, he went to go visit the Raiders today, and everyone was like, here we go. Donald Penn, he's signing with the Raiders. Well, he did sign with the Raiders. He signed a one-day deal, and this doesn't mean anything else besides the fact that Penn, who spent 5 years with the Raiders, he wanted to retire there. There's always this old saying, once a Raider, always a Raider. That's true unless your name is Antonio Brown or Trent Brown. Then I totally disregard that comment. But Donald Penn signed a one-day contract with the Raiders, and he will retire a Raider, which I absolutely love. So how about this, y'all? Let's look at the Raiders' offensive line depth chart because that's the real story here. This is where I want to get back to. You got Colton Miller, who you drafted in the first round in 2018. He's cemented there at the left tackle position. John Simpson, he's either going to play left guard. He could either play right guard. I'm not 100% sure where they're going to move the fourth-round pick from Clemson last season. Denzel Good, he is a player that they ultimately do want to bring back, but the amount of question marks that this team has, you better start being able to figure out who the heck is going to be protecting not only your running game, who the heck's going to be protecting Derek Carr, because if I got to rely on Sam Young, can you trust anybody by the name Sam? I don't know if you can. So how about this? Kyle Long's games missed, because the reason why he retired in 2020 is because in 2019, he missed 12 games. 2018, missed 8 games. 2017, missed 6 games. 2016, missed 8 games. As you could see, this man could not stay healthy, but when he was healthy, he was a Pro Bowler. And in fact, his first 3 years in the National Football League, he was a Pro Bowler. He was one of the best offensive linemen in the entire league. The other reason why this gets Raider Nation's kind of juices flowing a little bit, obviously his dad is Howie, one of the greatest Raiders of all time. I don't know if he does sign, if he wears number 75 like his father did. Brandon Parker might have to say something about that. Honestly, though, if I got to pick between Brandon Parker or Kyle Long, probably going to pick Kyle Long. So it is really curious to see what the Raiders ultimately end up doing here. I'm not 100% sure what other kind of contracts he's going to get, but for him, he was also scheduled to meet with the Kansas City Chiefs, but since the Chiefs, they just signed Joe Thuney to a 5-year, $80 million deal. That's a lot of money at the guard position already. Obviously, Kyle Long, he ain't getting that type of money, but maybe that's where the Chiefs' focuses were. But Thuney, he's going to play left guard. Kyle could still play right guard. So should the Raiders go out and sign Kyle Long, I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. How about this, though? The Raiders, they've been kind of active, right? So this is the visits the past week. On March 11th, A.J. Bouye, he came to visit. The Raiders have been looking for a veteran cornerback, a alpha, if you will. Some other names to keep in mind if you're the Raiders. Richard Sherman is definitely a name to keep in mind. Casey Hayward is a veteran. Jason Verrett was a name until he ended up going back with the 49ers. March 13th, HaHa Clinton-Dix. I mean, this is one of those players that he didn't play at all last year for the Dallas Cowboys. Sure, safety is a need, but he's more of a strong safety, more of a box safety. The Raiders need more of a true free safety. And then March 15th, Kyle Long, and then also Donald Penn signed that, one-day contract here. So what do y'all think? Name a big name free agent that's most likely to sign with the Raiders. I want you to go down, and I want you to comment. So try to think. I want you to look into that crystal ball, and I want you to give me a big-name player big name free agent that's most likely to sign with the Raiders? Maybe it's A.J. Green, right? Well, we'll see here. So the latest report is that the Raiders, they reached out to A.J. Green's camp. The Raiders, they still want to retain Nelson Agholor, who was their number one wide receiver. My only concern is this. I understand that Las Vegas wants to give Derek Carr a number one receiver, right? A true number one, because no disrespect to Henry Ruggs and no disrespect to Bryan Edwards, they just didn't show me that they're ready to take that step. Could they maybe in year two? Sure, absolutely. But if your solution is to go out and get A.J. Green, I'm just going to let everyone know right now, the Raiders are going to be super, super disappointed, because there has actually not been a bigger supporter of Green than myself, because in a league filled with divas, especially at the wide receiver position, A.J. Green has done nothing of that. He's always been a player that does his job. He does his job on and off the field and has done everything right with Cincinnati. However, go back and watch Green last year, because there were so many games, and I mean so many games, where he was taking plays off, the concentration wasn't there. There would be throws that would be just a little bit out of his reach. He wouldn't go for them. Like, I get it. His name is A.J. Green, and he was once one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. But I am telling y'all right now, if you go out and pay Green for his last name, you're going to be throwing away a whole bunch of Green. I'm just being 100% straight with you. I get that he's 32. He's also got a ton of injuries coming off a year, 47 catches, 523 yards, 2 touchdowns. And if you can get him for under $5 million, I would consider it. But I'm telling you what right now, that ain't going to happen. Instead, invest your money in other places. And if you're going to invest money in a wide receiver, bring back Nelson Agholor. And if he's not an option, I'll tell you what, I would absolutely love a guy like Curtis Samuel. So what do y'all think here? Should the Raiders go out and sign A.J. Green? If you're like, you know what, ma'am, that makes sense. I like you. I'm going to go for it. Type S for sign. If you agree with me and you're saying, no, the Raiders should not bring in A.J. Green, I want you to type P for pass. But if you are going to type your P for pass, maybe let me know if you think Nelson Agholor is going to be in, or if you don't think that he's going to be back, you could go ahead and maybe type somebody else. So even though A.J. Green was once one of the better receivers, and sure, they are probably still looking for a little bit more of a red zone option, considering the fact that Tyrell Williams was let go. He ended up going to the Detroit Lions. Bryan Edwards, though, he's like 6'3", 6'4". Darren Waller, 6'6". If A.J. Green could come in and maybe be a little bit more of a red zone option, sure. The only reason why I just don't like this move is because you're going to have to pay him a lot of money. He's still not a true number one wide receiver. And I can't guarantee you that he's honestly going to be able to stay healthy for a full 16-game season. And this is also not the way that the Raiders are going. You should want to build from a younger team. You should be able to go out and try to get your young players like Ruggs and Edwards a few more snaps. So no disrespect to A.J. Green. Love him as a player. He's a great dude, but the Raiders should not sign him.